reasons that the eschatology that we are in, the little season mentioned in the book of Revelations chapter 20, that happens after the millennial reign of Christ, has strengthened my faith in Christ, which, by the way, wasn't weak in the first place, just to be honest with you, was that when I started really digging into it and researching history that has been changed and hidden from us, a lot of things started clicking for me. When Jesus said in Matthew, Mark, Luke, you just go through it, he repeated this many times, many ways, that he would return to reign on the earth before the people standing before him would all taste death. And he said before the generation that they were in would pass away, he would return. And I think taking that at face value and realizing that Christ kept his word in a short span of time versus having us wait hundreds and hundreds of years. Well, they say it's been 2,000 years. Again, history, a lot of it is a lie, okay? This is just do your own research. A lot of history has been hidden. It's hard to find the truth, but what we've been told is not really the straight up truth. If Christ has not returned yet to reign on the earth, that is very sad. And I've accepted that as a Christian. And even if I am 100% wrong, which I don't think that my theory about this, which is not my theory, sorry, this theory, this eschatology, just the non-classically taught eschatology about the book of Revelations, the last days, how that plays out. A faith in him is strengthened because he kept his word. And look, I'll just say this. If it was blatantly obvious that Christ reigned on this earth for 1,000 years, like they said he would, then we would all believe in Christ, every single one of us. Every person you've ever ran into, they would know that it's true because it would be documented really well and taught about. But why would that happen during especially the short season where Satan is released to deceive the nations before final judgment? Why would we get to know all that? We don't. The reason we don't, and it's extremely hard to find concrete evidence besides obviously the absolute marvels of architecture that are all over the world that we cannot recreate, and there is no way that they could have possibly created that with horse and buggy without power tools. No, that's not possible. You can find a lot of little slips in the matrix, and I think it's the Kabbalah, some form of some religion that a lot of these higher up elites that are in charge, in power, practice. They believe in something like karma, something like that, where they have to tell us a little bit of the truth, expose themselves a little bit. That's why we see all kinds of disgusting things in Hollywood, and it's ramping up for sure. But I think also when it comes to this secret, they do tell us in little ways. And the more I study art, the more I look into like music and films, and like I see little glimpses of this now in so many things that I would not have seen it before. So yeah, I mean, it genuinely has my faith in Christ because he kept his word and not made us wait for over 1,000 years when he said, I will return before this generation passes. The Bible does warn us not to put our faith in man, so why would I believe the common narrative about our history? I don't buy it.
A lot of people are saying that we are living in Satan's little season. Well, this reminds me of a question that I like to ask people. What would it be like if Satan ruled the world? I'm not saying now what would it look like, fire and brimstone everywhere. We're saying what would it be like if Satan ruled the world? Would there be constant wars going on all over the place? Hatred amongst people, cultures that hate each other? Would there be fighting and division between people? No sense of unity whatsoever. There'd be narcissistic self-worship as the common trend amongst all people. Would there be an obsession with sexual perversion, child sacrifice? Would people be convinced that physical gratification and materialism were the point of the lives that we live? Would Satan have everybody under a hypnotic spell to where everyone is living a lie? Every aspect of their life is a lie? It kind of seems like this is what it would be like if Satan ruled the world.
I've been thinking about something for a while. the Matrix and the Terminator movies. I feel like those are actually like accurate prophecies of what's to come in the future. Soon, artificial intelligence is predicted to be sentient. This is having a mind of its own, thinking of its own free will. In the Terminator movies, when that happens, the world ends for us humans. The remaining humans go underground. The humans that the robots end up capturing, they fuse their minds with the machine. Neuralink is actively being created, which literally is an interface that connects the mind to a machine. As of right now, it's in the works. They're trying to create a virtual reality, right? Metaverse. A prediction of the Matrix that's been baffling me is, how does Neo, or the One, end up in the Matrix? How is that possible? Because the mind is spirit, right? So now we get an understanding of the scriptures when it says, yo, this earth will literally pass away, and then that's when the coming of the Son will happen. You know, Satan gonna get his little season. That's Satan's little season. He's gonna get his own little kingdom, his own little world. So the Matrix in itself would be Satan's little season. Satan will have complete control of the Matrix, right? Because he still cannot manifest physically in this realm, right? So he will use the Matrix to gain control over the minds of the people through Neuralink and artificial intelligence. And this is the promise that Satan has given to the wicked, those who follow him. They shall live forever. Well, in the Matrix, yeah. Not in this actual world. See, that's where they're being deceived. They think they're going to live forever in this world. But in reality, he's going to trap them also in the Matrix. That's why it says every rich man, every poor man, large, small, man or woman, businessman, doesn't matter who you are. Literally, artificial intelligence is going to make you get the mark Neuralink. And if you refuse, you're going to be unalived. This is real, man. This is coming. And I feel like it's actually going to happen because people are too focused on other things, or they don't think it's real, or they think it's a myth, or they say it's just a movie. But this stuff is actively being done in their face, and they're refusing to believe it, and it's crazy.
I'm about to show y'all a picture. See if you know who this is. That statue is Lucifer. Now, why would they do that? Why would someone create a statue of Lucifer locked up? Did you see the chains? Why would they do that? Why would they make that statue if it had not been an event that happened? That does not make any sense whatsoever. None. No one makes a statue of something that might happen or is told what's going to happen. They make it because they know for a fact that it did, right? So remember that. We are living in Satan's short season, but most of you think that the rapture is coming up. That's what you're waiting on. You know that the rapture, the first ever talked about it, was in 1830 by a woman named Margaret MacDonald. And then later on, John Darby, he is the one who is known for explaining it or whatever. It is a false doctrine that we were taught by the cabal, Satan, to keep us in a mental state of calm. Imagine had we lived not knowing about the rapture, still thinking that, you know, the end times, if we were in the end times, that tribulation was, you know, gonna happen at some point. What would we have been doing? Like, how would we have acted? I mean, we knew we were gonna die in this huge, huge event if we were here. Think about what mental state we would have been in, what we've been doing to prepare for that, all the things. We would have been on our guard, knowing that we're in the short season. Imagine knowing that our whole life. Imagine knowing that we were literally living in the age of the most deception from Satan. I mean, it's obvious why. They had to hide that. He had to hide it. I mean, it would have been total suicide in his account had he not. Christians would have been so much different. We would have treated the gospel and, you know, the truth. We would have treated the entire thing. Our lives would have looked different, is what I'm saying. It's really sad. But the fact is that if there was a rapture, then we would escape. We would escape all the hard part, and that's what they wanted us to believe. And some of you still believe it. When there's not one single thing in the Bible that is concrete evidence that that is going to happen or was going to happen before the tribulation. Not even in Revelation does it say anything of the sort. Sparing people is that does not mean a rapture comes. You know, 2 people in the field, one is gone. That does not mean a rapture. But that's what we were taught. And so what you have is all of that in your head. And it is, nothing can get past it because of the indoctrination. That's what that's called. Indoctrination. Brainwashing, if you will. And if you don't let go of it, if you don't try to see something else, you are going to miss out. And I'm just here to let you know that it is so exciting when you know the truth. And then there is no worry about anything. And what's going on right now is way different. And even if you've been in this truther movement, I have a theory that is so... I lost my last page because of it. So I can't actually talk about it yet. But it is so amazing. It has to do with central casting and who that actually is. So, and it's not who you think. What's going on is way bigger, and it's right in our face every day. It's amazing. So I hope that didn't upset some of y'all, but I'm sure it did.
The Flat Earth map dates back over 1,000 years. This map is credited to being created by a Persian astronomer. His name was Al-Biruni, and he lived between 973 AD to 1048 AD. It's the official map of the United Nations and also the United States Geological Survey. It used to be present in many places before the creation of NASA and the Antarctic Treaty in 1959. Here you see it with Admiral Byrd. This map has been restored by Dmitry from Russia with suggestions of mine, Idialenkar. Known by my YouTube channel Flat Earth Banjo, I asked Dmitry to include the Bermuda Triangle and Point Nemo, a place deep in the Pacific where NASA buries rockets. Then Robert Tozzi, a professional mapmaker, came along and enhanced the map even more. There are many people now selling this map online, but if you could order it from my online store, I would greatly appreciate it. Visit my online store now and order one of the items. I humbly thank you.